Okay, hello everybody. So Pixelate, I've sent you a request. Mr. Boy George, I've sent you a request.
Mic is on.
There it's on. We can hear
you.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. Everybody looks very colourful. The avatars are very joyful.
Yeah. There's like a colour I always see on profiles, and it always goes like a violet kind of colour.
Yeah, so there's a lot of blue I see.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in my yard.
Boy George? You're in your yard? Whereabouts? In London?
In London, North London, yeah. I've been working on art today, so just had a really creative day.
Lovely. Very nice. Can everybody hear us okay? Pixel Myth, Pixelate, Pixel Dados, I've sent you some a request to speak, just so you can make sure everybody can hear us okay.
There's some faces I recognise already anyway.
Yeah?
Christine from New York, Sybil from Switzerland. I think there's a few others in here. Okay. It will become clear as we go through.
Good. I'm just going to bring in a couple of people. 2 minutes.
I might put glasses on just so I can see people's avatars. Let me get my other glasses. I'm coming back. I'm back.
Okay, so we got Pixelate, speaker. There you go.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's lovely to have you on here. Thank you for joining us. We really love you on Discord. Thank you very much. It was great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks to Pixelate. Thank you. Guys, just want to say thanks very much. There's a bit of a noise I think, there on your speaker. That's better. Thanks, Boy George. So just want to say thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's been an absolutely insane few days. I'm sure everybody's seen what's happened. We were building the CryptoQueenz, and literally last night, we had 1,300 users, and within 9 hours, we hit 10,000 members. So essentially, we had our whitelist open, we had our silver list open, but they pretty much, everything got filled. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up some whitelist spots in the very near future. So stay tuned, stay listening, please, and we'll be announcing all of that very soon. And we've taken from the Discord channel and from Twitter the 25 most upvoted questions. Now, we got sent in a lot. So I'm going to read through those in a sec, but I know everybody's been asking about the roadmap.
Yes.
So hopefully I'm going to be posting that in here in Twitter Spaces in the next 5 minutes. This is version 1, but there's some very exciting announcements, and one of them is that Boy George will be performing in Vegas land, in Vegas City, in Decentraland. Already, they've made his avatar, and they're building him a nightclub, and it's all going to be ready next week. So this is something we've been working on and spending a lot of time with Vegas City and Decentraland, and it should all be ready next week. And we're hoping to have our first Boy George performance the following Saturday, which is going to be free for pretty much everybody in Discord and all of our Twitter followers. So that's going to be confirmed, but it's 95% going to be, as long as everything's ready, on the 26th, Saturday the 26th, and everybody's invited here. So that's really incredible.
We're planning to be there, so, we're planning to be there. We're organising what we're going to sing, so I might discuss that with some people, but yeah, I think I've got it down.
You got it down, yeah?
Yeah, do a few gorgeous covers. I'm going to do some old stuff, a couple of surprises.
Lovely.
Just a good, solid show.
Lovely, that'd be fantastic.
Highs and lows.
Yeah, that's what the fans want. And I think if we just touch on for a second, like what we've created here with CryptoQueenz, and then we can sort of go into the questions and the roadmap a bit more.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, we obviously met Boy George, and we thought that we want to really push out this image that you've had, this global iconic image that you've had for as long as I can remember. When I was 10 or 11 years old, I used to live in Bow in Bethnal Green with my aunt and uncle, and there was a club opposite, and all I remember was just going in there and listening to your songs and feeling happy. So we wanted to kind of create that in these pieces of artwork, in these NFTs. And we've had such a great response. I mean, everybody in Discord loves the artwork, and it's all based on your hat collection, and that face that you drew for us. Do you want to just sort of like cover that off about how you got to that, and how we got to making these NFTs?
Well, a lot of my drawings are a mix of. I always start everything by hand, so everything starts with my physical DNA, because I just think my lines are better when they're by hand. So the process is always me drawing it, ripping it up, drawing it, and then some of those things go into my camera. Then they're loaded up, and then they go into digital surgery, and I start changing them and moving noses and adding bits. And often the characters, like Scarman, is very simple, because someone like me, people always comment that I have a great face for makeup because there's a lot of space on my face. I always describe myself as having an Irish potato face. It's quite bland and quite podgy sometimes. And when I discovered makeup, it just changed my life. So, these drawings are always about someone reinventing themselves. I mean, every morning, if you're someone who wears makeup, I was going to say if you're a girl, but of course now everybody wears makeup. So, I would never use that language now. But if you're someone who likes to reinvent yourself in the morning with a new look every day, you're always going to start off with your own simplicity. And makeup can hide so much, and it gives you a confidence, and it makes other people treat you differently. So, all of the drawings are complex because I'm trying to get to the essence of who the person is. Even when I'm drawing someone famous, I'm still just trying to get the essence of that person, not necessarily to make them look exactly like they look. And sometimes people find my drawings quite unflattering because I like to extend and, exaggerate anything I see.
Well, that Scarman face, I mean, I've seen it in your house. I've seen it all. It has an impact. I can't even quite explain what it is, and that follows through in the NFT. And everybody said that, and even the ones you've done, where there's only been one so far, but hopefully there'll be one or two more. But
there's more coming, yes.
Yeah, the one that you did of Steve Aoki really, really resembles him. I think it looks fantastic. It's just him in glitter. It looks incredible. So yeah, thank you very much.
He has a really strong face, so he's like an artist's dream. Some people are too pretty to be painted.
Okay, right. I've just got the roadmap through everybody, so I'm going to tweet out very first version of the roadmap, and then if there's any questions at the end, obviously you can run through these questions. So as I mentioned, we're going to be adding some whitelist spots because there's a few left, and we're going to be giving those out through Discord and Twitter. At the end, if it's all right with you, Boy George, we'd love to give away one NFT for free to whoever you think is the best question.
Oh, don't make me choose.
All right, so
Pixelate, James.
So Pixelate, can you choose?
I don't know. I think the man himself has to choose. I think we need to put him on the spot, to be totally honest.
All right, I'll throw some balls and I'll choose. I'll find a good spiritual reason to choose one of you.
I've got a feeling you're going to choose number 13, but that's another thing. Okay, so question number 1 is from EB Sometimes. Great person. This been helping our community a lot. The question is, do you own art from other artists and NFT collections?
I do own art from other artists. I've got a brainwash. I've got a couple of things done by David Bowie. I've got a Grayson Perry piece of pottery that I bought at an auction that I'm obsessed with. But yeah, not many things. And I'm starting to kind of explore buying other people's NFTs because I thought, well, I'm making them, I should be buying some. So I've been exploring them, and there's some really lovely things out there. So watch this space in terms of NFTs. But I'm kind of mostly focused on, doing my own work and, not trying too much to be influenced by what I see, although I think it's also a bit stupid not to embrace things that you find exciting. Just get yourself another idea from that, I think.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Question number 2 is Weller Wells. What is the biggest outcome you want to achieve by entering the world of NFTs?
Well, I like the idea of being in the stink of things. You know, when I started DJing I started DJing in the 70s, but then I became a musician. And I went back to DJing when the acid house movement started. And to be honest with you, I was going to the clubs and there were these chill out rooms where, you know, they'd always have, you know, all sorts of interesting pop music. And one night I just said, you should get me to play in the chill out room as a joke. And then it sort of turned into an accidental career. And I just think being in the stink of things is like being interested in what's going on, you know, not just what's going on for you, but what's going on or what's coming next. I mean, I think all artists crave to hear, you know, new things. Or what's this about? Oh, photography, art, you know, poetry, you know, fashion, you know, furniture. I mean, it's endless, really. And I think that, you know, I come from a generation where we were given freedom to invent ourselves. You know, the 70s, we could sign on and get money from the government. So it wasn't a lot, but it stopped you starving and allowed you to indulge in being a creative person. I think some people do it now, but, you know, so yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, question number 3. I only have one question. When you were on The Voice, you were a Montreal Canadian. You wore a Montreal Canadian hockey jersey with the number 31 or best player. Being from Montreal and a huge Montreal Canadian fan, I would like to know if there was a particular reason you chose this jersey, and that is from Fugazi.
I just think that I liked it, and I just like the absurdity of me in any sort of sports gear.
Yeah.
Anything that says health and fitness is a sort of anethia to me, but I quite like the sort of, you know, I like sporty types. I was completely obsessed and supporting Canada. That's the answer you want, and that's the truth.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much. Number 4 is, this got upvoted a lot. I only have one question for Boy George. Are you happy?
Yes.
And that's,
yes.
Sorry, I should say, Alex Potapakina.
It's a really nice question as well, because, you know, if you'd asked me that 10 years ago, I would have thought you were weird. You know, I'd have thought, what's wrong with this person? What do you mean, am I happy? I don't know if I'm happy. But actually, I've learned as I've got older that being happy is an investment you have to make. And I know lots of people in terrible situations with illnesses and difficulties in their lives, and they are so happy and so positive and just make me feel like whenever anything's not going the way I want it, I'm very lucky in so many ways. So, yeah, I think that's important. Do you know what I mean? To listen to other people and care about what's going on with other people. I didn't really answer your question, but
sounds like you are to me.
I just tell you.
All right, here's a big one. This is from EB sometimes, and this got upvoted a lot, and a lot of people have asked this. Have you been around the hoopla in the Discord already? If yes, please let us know.
I haven't been in around the hoopla because I found it difficult to maneuver onto Discord. I feel like there's a massive explosion. Once someone comes over and explains how I do it, because if it looks like this will be exciting because I can see your faces. But so far, I know I've got lots of followers on there, but I now have to follow, you know, sort of respond. I'm working on it.
But you did. We saw like Boy George entering a minute after you tweeted. You've entered, but you've not looked around. Is that right?
I think that's the problem. Yeah, I need to know where to look. Can someone help me?
I'll give you a hand if that's all right. If you'll
beautiful, yeah. Because I love
show you around how to.
Everyone knows that.
All right, thanks very much. Okay, Marcia, what excites you more, making music, painting, photographing, producing, DJing, or making digital art?
Listen, I think I'm very lucky to be able to kind of want to do those things because, you know, art is about audacity. It's about getting off your ass and actually doing it. Because, you know, there are lots of things that I do, you know, musically, visually, whatever it may be, that other people are completely capable of doing if they feel like it. You know, but it's the person that kind of takes the action is the one who's going to get noticed. And so, you know, I'm always looking for things to inspire me every single day. Did that help you? Probably not.
No, it did. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's a slight lag. I don't know if it's my side or yours. That's the problem with Twitter Spaces. Okay, any chance, this had one of the most upvotes, and this is from Decidus. I pronounced it correctly. Any chance of releasing the demo of The Eyes of Medusa? We would love to hear it. A painting of Medusa would be awesome. If the original doesn't hold up, as you said, maybe a new version.
I think probably a new version, because I don't think it was ever brought to its finest fruition. I think it was, as I say, it was this mad little demo. And it was, what's fascinating about that song is me right at the beginning trying to learn how to write songs. And I used to write these long, long songs with like 55 verses and 27 choruses. And there was always so much to say. And a funny thing, I think working with Roy, John and Mikey, there was a little education about, this is the intro, this is a verse. Now we got a bridge or a B section if you're American. Then we take the chorus, and then maybe we throw in a middle eight and a key change. So I learned all these amazing rules and that particular song was just so indulgent. It's like Medusa. I love to sing about things that excite me. So I guess that was the reason I sung The Eyes of Medusa, because also talking about love and turning John to stone or whatever it may be. That was probably one of my ambitions.
Amazing. Okay, number 8 is from Craig, and this has got so this has been upvoted on Discord. Will there be any additional utility for hodling NFTs? Any project that CryptoQueenz collab with? Would we get access to whitelist on other projects? And are there plans for future airdrops for hodling? I think I can help answer that, if that's all right with you, Boy George.
Well, you start by saying yes, there are.
Yeah, there are. Yes,
but I'd like to do it with a musical twist. I'd like to, because I've been talking about music and NFTs for some time. And, I saw today that Death Row Records are going to be an NFT-only label. So I don't know what that means, but, I think it's a way of bringing your music to people in a new way. It's cutting out some of the rules, because an artist like me, because I'm older, I have to sort of work in a system that doesn't really support me, doesn't play my music, but respects who I am, but doesn't really think I've got anything to say. So for me as an artist, NFTs, like direct action, it feels like direct action. It feels like, because people can't fall in love with things they can't hear, and they can't fall in love with things they can't see, and I think this is the power of art, and blending it with music would be sort of a perfect kind of relationship for me, because everything I write is so deeply visual, and a lot of my paintings come from songs, and a lot of my songs come from paintings where I go, what does that look like? And then, it will fly into a lyric. But almost anything anyone says to me on a daily basis can be a lyric.
That's amazing. And I do think that this is going to open up like a new audience. I think that the fact that we added sort of 10,000 new Discord members last night, and they're all following you, basically. They're all following your project. I think
it's important to say that, rock and roll closes down a lot of creativity. Because there's so many rules to get on the radio, to be in the charts or whatever it may be. To get on the radio, you have to fit into a certain idea, and that's why so much pop music right now just sounds the same as everything else. And I guess I come from an era where art was provocative, pop music was provocative, but it was also sort of fitted in with all this mad, cabaret music that your parents liked, which one of the reasons why I loved Top of the Pops. Let's do an NFT Top of the Pops. It'd be amazing. Once a month, it would be so good.
I used to love Top of the Pops.
What's fascinating, I'm really into this idea of a sort of digital community. I think a lot of people get confused about what social networking is. When you get a request from someone and it says pending, you think, well, you're missing the point. It's about access to each other, and we choose what we say to each other and what we want to share, but we're in control. But there is a sort of beauty to this level of communication, which I think is great.
100%. And in terms of, we've discussed having potentially in the next next collection, possibly as part of this one, but it's all to be discussed, that some of your new music would be attached to the NFT. So the way that the NFTs work, some people know, some people don't, is that the NFT is underpinned by a smart contract. and that smart contract gives proof of ownership and can give proof of ownership of a song. So if you were to release a song or an album and there were, 1,000 NFTs, each one of those NFTs could represent 1,000th of a share of the, or 1,000th of 100% of that song. And then people can in perpetuity receive royalties. And that could be a better way to get music out to lots and lots of people, and a better way for the artists to recoup some of their outgoings, I think.
Yeah, it's just another way of carrying the idea, and hopefully also kind of, one of the great things about right now is that if you're an artist like me is in contact with all these kids out there who want to be musicians, they want to be in fashion, they want to wear makeup, whatever it may be, and they actually can get in touch with me because I am probably the most accessible human being on the internet. I don't know of anyone that actually openly argues with their fans and other people's fans in the way that I do. I'm very hands-on in terms of being part of, the digital world, and I don't tell everyone everything about myself because there's some things are private. But as a rule, I try to be intelligent. I try to have, critical thinking, and I try to be humorous. And I really love that part of the internet.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I saw you respond straight away to any sort of like negative comments. 99% are positive, and somebody said, "Oh, what about the electricity that Ethereum uses?" And there's next year, or actually later this year, the merge is happening, and Ethereum electricity, power consumption's going to drop by about 99%. So for any new technology, not everything's perfect, but this is opening such a new world to so many people. Okay, amazing. I'll get on to the next question because I'm quite wary of time. You've already kind of been asked that one. Number 9 by Spencer John 73. Sorry, mate. Catherine, what is the mediums that you use for the artworks, and have you ever considered to do a tour with your artwork in the near future?
Well, I'm very fascinated. First of all, the mediums are, hand drawing, hand painting. I also do hand sewing of beads and all sorts of things like that. Onto my paintings, and then there's the kind of digital side of things where some of my screen prints, my virtual screen prints, go into a sort of digital world once I've drawn them, and then also playing around with. Because now people are having screens in their houses, so you could have a digital work on a screen. It means they can change the painting. They don't have to look at the same thing all the time. Yeah. There's always going to be people that want tangible art, but I think digital art, it just comes with a new type of freedom because, art over the decades has always been about exclusivity and class, and, many of us felt very left out of art until the likes of Andy Warhol and Keith Haring and Banksy and, Basquiat, till they came along and, kind of stuck the finger up at some of the rules about what art was. And that's why I love this digital world, because I don't think people realise what they can do. And that fascinates me, so even working on this project, I'm bouncing off the ideas I'm coming up with for these NFTs, but I'm also getting ideas for my real virtual art pieces as well, that ones that you can actually touch. But I just love the idea that, you can have all these different mediums, and it's like having colors in an art room. It's the same process. It's like other places to go, other places to explore. And, you guys, I think, want an entirely different relationship with the artists these days. We're not quite there in terms of what that is, but I like the idea of being up and close to person with people that I won't call you fans, but maybe friends or followers, people that follow me, or people that pick up on my aesthetic, people that kind of like the noise I make, the things, the colors I create, a thing like that is the connection.
That's lovely. And just while you're
beautifully weird.
just while you're talking about followers, just seeing Christopher Moyles has popped in the chat. Hey, Chris. Ben Phillips. Hey, Ben. A few guys there. Hey, Sabina. Quite a few other people have dropped in. So just wanted to say hello. Okay. Mother Italy Loves You. That was a fantastic interview by with Monty the other day, by the way.
Yeah, lovely.
Is there any chance to hear you again for concerts?
Oh God! Well, of course. I mean, this is all. I want to do concert tickets that are NFTs. I want to do all sorts of mad things. This is just going to be a way that another brilliant way to express ideas, to give you guys things you didn't think you wanted, or more than you think you might get. I like it. I think it could be full of surprises. You can hide things in the NFTs, secret songs, secret messages. It's great.
We're just so everybody knows, in the roadmap, we're dropping 150 super rare NFTs outside of the ones you've seen with the popular Scarman and Boy George's hat, and they're all uniquely designed by Boy George. And every time you send them to me, I'm gobsmacked. And we released one of them, but we're going to release one this evening after this call.
I
thanks very much.
I have to tell you that when I'm doing those things, I mean, I live alone, but I do a lot of screaming when I'm doing those things because I have the same reaction. Because the process it's not all, it doesn't always work, and not everyone that I look at, if I'm doing my own characters, I can make them look how I want. But when it's someone that wants to be immortalized, you have to be careful, because I could be quite anarchic and punky in my depictions of people. So, oh no, I have to behave myself. So it's always fun to do, though.
Okay, thank you. Stripy Draft, sorry for missing your one, but I've covered that a bit about Vegas City, and I'll come back onto that. Decidus, this has had quite a lot of upvotes in the Discord. Any chance we could get a release of the Don't Mind If I Do album on vinyl, maybe in time for its 25th anniversary in 2 years? It's such a great album and needs to be on vinyl.
It does. There are some vinyls, but only a box or two. Yeah, it's a great album, and there's a dub album. This is what a dub Volume 1 that's available on all the usual places. And then I've also released another album earlier this year called Karaoke Volume 1. I'm about to release another album, but on this album, I'm hosting other artists. So I'm going to be doing this thing, which I think I'm starting, which is called hosting. So basically, there'll be other artists. They're people I work with, but they'll be on my album.
Okay, incredible.
Randomly appear next to track 3. It'll be, oh, look, there's Eve Gallagher. Oh, look, there's We Are Brando. There's this one, that one. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, I sort of this is a slightly personal one, but I know you said to send any questions and you're not going to check them, so I appreciate that.
No.
Laura, could you please tell us a defect, a virtue, a vice, a regret?
Well, I'll start by saying it's for you to tell me the defects, because I've got too many, in my opinion, to mention. My attribute has always been my sense of humour. That has been the most important thing for me throughout my life, throughout my career, being able to laugh at the madness of the situations I've often found myself in. And when I was younger, I used to say I have no regrets, because to me, having regrets was a cop-out. But as an older man, I feel that having regrets, not to dwell on or to muse over, but to sort of be aware of things that you've done and have these things as a kind of measure of where you want to be. Because I think, personal change is about surprising yourself, not other people. Because all the time you're surprising yourself, then you're going to surprise other people anyway, because we all get locked into these narratives about who we are and what we're supposed to be, and we often bolster those narratives to people that we're closest to. So I think for me, learning to listen, maybe not react in the most obvious way all the time, and allowing that, it creeps into your art, which is amazing. This space that you create around thinking. I've been following this thing called the 3 principles, if everybody wants to know what it is. Mind, thought, and consciousness. And it is mind-blowing. Because it's all stuff you already know. There's nothing to learn. It's more about unlearning stuff. And that really comes into some of the things I want to do artistically. I'd like my work to have some sort of beneficial side to it where you looked at the painting and maybe there was an amazing slogan that said, "You don't have to think like this." Wish someone had told me that at 16.
I love that. I mean, I need a reminder sometimes. Just when you said that, it's made my brain sort of slow down and think, that's
Beautiful
fantastic.
things like putting it in the furniture, maybe in an NFT, maybe in a song, I'm starting to think about how that works musically as well.
Okay. Question number 15. Are you planning to release some non-digital merchandise with your latest drawings? Some prints of t-shirts, summaries coming with CryptoQueenz merch?
Possibly. We'll see how things goes. I mean, I like putting the art on clothing. I often make my own clothes with my pictures on, and because I kind of felt like, well, if I was going to make it, I should wear it. And it's influenced very heavily by punk rock, by Vivienne Westwood, by the great Judy Blame, who was an incredible stylist. There's so many people, Steve Strange, Marilyn, Don't Tell Anyone, bit of Philip Salon. There's a lot of characters that have kind of influenced what I do, and I sort of celebrate them a little bit through my work.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. By the way, that was Caribou. Number 16, Letizia M. While you write the lyrics of a song, do you follow a melody? I mean, do you have music in your head to start with, or is it just the lyrics? Or do you write the lyrics on already made music?
There are no rules about how that happens. If somebody sends you a piece of music, like an instrumental, which I do get a lot, I get them from Luke Begley, I get them from Benny D, and I get them from Roland Faber. And recently I got some from Kissy Sellout. So they'll send me a backing track. And, the music sometimes can dictate what the song's going to be about. Because if it's got this like tropical kind of funky feel, although what I try to do nowadays is put a song on something that shouldn't be on it. Instead of just going, oh, it sounds tropical, let me just write a lyric that's about sunshine. What about two people having an argument in the sunshine? That can be just as interesting. So, with me, I always think the words are the most important thing. I say to everyone, words, and some artists get annoyed because they believe that if you think about a song, and you kind of, it's not something that's driving you insane in your soul, and they can be great songs too. If you think about it, it's not real. But the fact is, what is real? Nothing's real. You're making everything up all the time, quite happily. You don't question yourself at any time. So for me, the songwriting process has become madly surreal, unapologetic. If I want to say something ridiculous like, he's the leading force in the self-help business as my chorus, no one else is going to do it. And I know that. So I think the more crazy, the more Mark Bolan-esque the lyrics are, the more David Bowie they are, the more fun they're going to be to write, and they're going to be great to listen to as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Number 18, Nikki 07. If you could be an animal, what kind of animal would you be?
Well, did you want to be the strongest one, wouldn't you? Like the strongest and the fastest, probably like a cheetah. Just so I could really get up and run when I needed to. Although I always fancied the idea of flying. I suppose it'd have to be an eagle, because eagles don't tend to get too pestered. They're sort of up there at the top of the chain in terms of taking care of themselves. But I'd probably end up as a sparrow.
Okay, number 19. This is from Craig. Good man, Craig. Of the 5 physical hats that will be given to those lucky few, can they choose to have the hat signed by Boy George? So just to confirm, we're going to give 10 physical hats from Boy George's collection. I hope that's okay, Boy George. And what the fans have asked for is that we're giving 5 away with 1,000 crypto hats, and we're giving 5 away to people that hold the NFTs for a long period of time, and that's on the roadmap that should be pinned to this Twitter Spaces. They've asked if you would sign those hats.
Of course.
Oh, lovely. Thank
That's
you.
an easy. That's an easy yes.
There's a good
Giving
answer,
them away
Craig.
in the first place. The first hurdle is letting go of a hat. Do I want this hat? So
Yeah.
that's the only difficult. But once you've decided the babies are leaving the house, then signing them's nothing. It's like,
Oh, God.
you're on your way. You don't need me anymore.
Okay, so this is what is your opinion on younger artists of today? I know you've said that it is important to be in the present, but how important is it for younger people to discover artists such as yourself and to seek inspiration from the past?
Oh, I think you should look at everything, and that applies to music. Listen, great Chanel said, anyone who insists on their originality has no memory. And that's from one of the greatest designers that ever walked the planet, Chanel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that I always talk about this sort of, this pantry that exists in the sort of spiritual world that's full of ideas. And depending on where your head is at the time, you walk in there, it's fully stocked always, but you sometimes can't find Nina Simone. Sometimes you can't find Bowie. Sometimes you can't find this, but you're only taking things that already exist. And I think younger artists, Morrissey once said you should respect the past but not wallow in the past. And that's where I feel I sit, because obviously the past is very useful to me. Nostalgia is a very, very big part of what I do, but I'm so focused on what I'm doing next, that I don't feel trapped in a sort of completely an idea of what people think of me. And I don't have a problem with what people think of me anyway, because, it's got nothing to do with me in the end.
That's very nice. Very nice. Okay, this question, quite a few people upvoted. We've heard that there's a biopic of your life. Any word on who will play you, and will this ever start filming? It's something all the fans want. And that's Glinda the Good.
Listen, it's a surreal concept that somebody is going to make a film of your life and someone's going to play you. There was a great one done for the BBC where Douglas Booth played me, and he was amazing, and the whole styling of that was amazing. So if they make a movie that looks like, as stylishly cool as Worried About the Boy was on BBC, I'll be delighted, because, it was the time of really strong fashion and pride. And then, of course, if you add the truth into that, it would be amazing to finish this film. I always wanted a Pixar movie. Someone like, hire Morticia from the Addams Sons, come and play me.
Yeah. That's okay. This is question number 23 by Cyber Chameleon, and this has had the most number of upvotes. When the 60 for 60 songs have all been released, are there plans to release this in a physical box set format?
These are things that are being discussed very seriously. Would I do like boxes of vinyls and then maybe actually make the boxes into pieces of art, and because or just do it as a regular 7-inch. I'll probably do the first idea and make them all into box sets or something, because it's 37-inch singles. If I could pull that off, 37-inch singles that are two-sided, like the old 70s records, but obviously on these ones every song will be an A-side.
Yeah. Okay.
Although there'll be songs on there that people will say, "Oh, it's good it's a B-side," because that's what it sounds like. So that's what I'd like to do. So yes.
Okay, we've got two more questions. We're 40 minutes in, so I think we're doing good for time. This is Julie Singh, great last name. I've heard other vocalists lose their vocal range and tone as they age, while others keep theirs. What do you do to keep your voice as strong as possible for as long as possible?
Well, my voice has changed dramatically since I was 19. I sang very much through my nose when I was a young singer. It was all in my chest. I didn't really know about, the sort of power and quality of sort of singing from the gut. And that came, later on. I remember Peter Gabriel saying, when you're young, you sing to heaven. And when you get older, you sing to a more gravitational place, down towards the devil, I suppose. But I actually think that I can do a lot more things now with my voice than I ever could, but I do take care of it. And, but I also invest in the sort of spiritual aspect of what it is to be a performer. It isn't just a physical thing. Yeah, you've got to take care of your body and all that, warm up. But actually, when you go on stage, how you feel, how you stand, what's going on in your head. Because when you walk onto a stage, you have to remember so many things, but you have to look like you're not thinking about that and you're just with the audience. You have to make that audience think that you know what you're doing, even if you're screaming inside. I'm not going to hit this note. They don't care. They love you and they support you and they just want you to stare at them.
That's lovely. That's really lovely. Okay. A question to George. If you could DJ anywhere in the universe, there's another word for universe. If you could DJ anywhere in the universe, where would it be and why?
Anywhere in the universe? I mean, listen, I would always love to do like a DJ set somewhere in India, like in deepest India, some massive festival in India, there's that, is it Kumakali festival? That's an amazing festival where they all throw the coloured powders at each other. I mean, that would be amazing. But listen, when you DJ, it's all about getting the crowd in your pocket, and I'm not one of those DJs that goes on and plays everything that everyone else plays because I don't see the point, But you have to always have a few things in your bag that are like familiar. And you lull people into a full sense of security by playing a certain type of thing, and then you slip into new stuff. And after a while, people just accept it because people do. I think dance music people are dance lovers. They love the music. Because, a lot of the time there's no lyrics to distract.
I feel like there's something we need right now. More dancing and more fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of those questions, we said we'd give away a free NFT. Could you recollect what your favourite one was?
Favourite question? I think the question about young artists, was my favourite. I just love the subject matter. That question about whether you should look back and explore other things. You don't want to be one of those people that says it's not my era, because jazz is not my era, but I'm obsessed with jazz. Nina Simone, Bessie Smith, those kind of beautiful singers from the 1930s that I heard by accident. They're kind of part of the reason why I sing the way I do. I've got that kind of jazzy thing and, a little bit of a crack in my voice. And that's always been something that I've pursued, not tried to get rid of. I love the cracks,
Yeah. Same. I think that's what adds the character. Okay, so is there anything, Boy George, you would like to say to the CryptoQueenz family? As I say, it's grown really quickly. I can't remember something growing as quick as this. We've been in it looking and working in NFT since the beginning, and we've not seen a server grow that quickly. And it just again shows everybody's love for you, really. So is there anything you want to say to all the people that are there? We're going to obviously be working to build this before the mint date, which is the 1st of March, and probably going to have a lot more people. I'm not even sure what the latest numbers are. I'm sure it's 12 or 13,000 or maybe even more now. Is there anything you want to say to the CryptoQueenz family?
Well, first of all, it's exciting that we can call this a family. I love that, because I do find a lot on the internet, people don't really want to communicate. They want to argue.
Yeah.
But I think in this creative space, we don't have to do that because we're talking about lots of things that matter to each other. And I want to expand on that, really. I feel that is, I don't mind someone with an opinion as long as it's positive. Somebody said the other day, I think manifestations are a crock of shit. And I wrote, well, especially if you manifest a crock of shit, you have to kind of, I know it sounds corny, but you have to go out there and speak well of yourself, even if it's only to yourself.
Yeah.
Pick yourself up. I chant every day. I chant Namia Renge Kyo. And I've been doing a lot of really long chants because, I really wanted. I was really excited about the NFT thing, and I thought I'm going to really put a lot of chanting and passion into it. And I did 20 minutes gongo this morning, which is a lot for me, and I really enjoyed it. And
Wow.
it feels like it's bringing up a lot of positivity, and that's really the power of that mantra.
What's the chant again?
Nam yo renge go, nam yo renge go, nam yo renge go. You don't have to do the stutters, but I just like him. It's kind of.
I love that. I love that. So that's like a mantra.
It's a mantra, yeah, and apparently mantras are very good for your soul.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I did TM, transcendental meditation, for a while.
Amazing.
Okay, so on everything there, on the giveaway, we need to give one away. So if there's a specific question, if not, I'll ask Pixelate to pick the best question, and we're going to give away one of those NFTs. Just to let everybody know who's here, because I know there's been so many questions on Discord. We had a slight issue with the roles being updated, so there's a long backlog to update people to silver and whitelist, but we're getting through it. Just please be patient with us, and we'll be there. We opened up a whitelist wait list, bit of a tongue twister, but anybody who didn't get on the silver list or the white list can join the wait list, and we're going to just be slowly doing competitions and really cool things to build the community and to give away those other whitelist spots, which we're hoping to free up another 1,000. A few people have mentioned in Discord, because Boy George's lucky number's 13, that maybe we should do 13,000 NFTs, but we really want to stick to the original plan and have something that's very special and not increase the numbers of them. So that hopefully answers that question. So we're going to try and free up some more whitelists from the public mint spots, and we'll be giving those away over the next 10, 11 days. I've pinned, hopefully it's worked on Twitter Spaces, I've pinned the roadmap. It's the first time that we've officially released the roadmap. So a lot of things there with Vegas City and how Boy George and CryptoQueenz are going to appear in the metaverse, which is soon coming everyone's way. Obviously you can ignore it or you can go with it. So, yeah, I think everybody, I just checking in with the moderators, Pixelate, Dados, is that I've covered all the questions? Have I missed anything?
I'm just going to say one thing. Don't ignore it. Plug in.
Yeah. I'm with you there. What an amazing note to finish on. I mean, thank you so much for your time, Boy George. I really appreciate it. The message I'm getting from the moderators are, I love this bloke, I like this bloke. So everything that we get is just a positive feedback. Everybody's super excited, super pumped for this release in just over a week's time. And we just want to thank you, all of us, from the bottom of our heart, so much for helping us create this artwork. And we look forward to seeing you soon in the metaverse or in the real world.
Absolutely. God bless everyone. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Boy George.
Bye.
Bye.